Welcome to Wonderland's author interviews. Hello, Maggie. How are you?
Hi, I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I didn't even introduce you. Sorry. Tonight we have Maggie Brown.
For going well already.
Yeah, one already. Well, thank you for joining us today. Obviously, I'm going to ask you some questions, and if you can just tell us about yourself to start off with, that would be amazing.
No problem. So I'm Maggie. I write fantasy romance mostly. I also have a young adult ghost story out as well. But for the majority of my time, I'll be editing for indie authors or with my son or just out exploring and having fun adventures.
So, what else do you have any hobbies apart from writing, or is it just
Not really.
writing and then no,
Writing,
no?
reading,
See, reading. You didn't say reading. What do
thought
you
they
like to
come
read?
part of the past. I read anything. I'm quite eclectic in genres, so I can quite happily read mafia or dark romance or fantasy, epic fantasy, urban fantasy, you name it, hockey romances. Just throw them at me. I can quite happily read them.
And you said you edit as well, don't you?
I do. So I freelance edit for newer indie authors. So I opened up my own editing company called OpenEye Editing in 2023 to help newer authors like myself that couldn't afford the higher prices that some editors charge. So I keep my editing prices low for the newer authors that are maybe struggling to find somebody to edit their book to a professional standard.
So why don't you tell us a bit about your books?
So my books, I have 7 out so far and the 8th on the way sometime. So the first lot of books is Of Magic and Lies, which is the first book in the Gatemaker series, which would be a 5-book series when it's finished, but has become a universe of books with all the interconnecting stories that seem to be popping up and coming out of my head. It's quite fun. So yeah, Of Magic and Lies, which is, I
So pretty.
This one's an urban fantasy set in the UK, and it goes from York down to London, up to Scotland, where you follow this Sally's journey with her loyal best friend Jason, who's also lying to her along the way, which causes a lot of friction. And her dream man literally walks out of her dreams and into the club where she's working, which kicks everything off. So you've got the dark and deadly handsome and very irritable and annoying shadow prince that turns up in the modern world and chases her all over England, which is fun. So
how did that idea come to you?
So it was one I'd finished writing Memories at Midnight, which was the first book. People got that one. So yeah. So Memories at Midnight was the first book I ever wrote and released. And I'd finished this one and was getting it ready to publish. And then I needed something else to move on to. So the idea that there'd be different worlds within a universe, I really wanted to be able to explore each world. But then I really wanted, I was reading a lot of fae books and fantasy books as well at the time. So the idea that I had a fae that could portal travel, but the portal travel wouldn't be from the beginning of the book because she doesn't remember who she is conveniently. So it ended up being I wanted to have all the different elements of fantasy that I love and enjoy to read all in one series. So now we've got Shadow Fae, you've got Light Fae, we've got witches, we've got vampires, these dragons, these angels coming into it eventually. And then all of it will come back into book 5 and it'll all be big, epic war and getting rid of the bad guy. So each book in the main series goes through different worlds. So you've got Earth in book 1. We've got the Light Fae world in book 2. So you go through all the different Fae courts. And then in book 3, we go to the Shadow Fae world where it's really a bit darker. So you got a bit of torture, Colosseum battles, all the lovely bits and bobs. And then obviously book 5 is where the dragons come into play and you go into the dragon world, which is Dragnar. But then you've also got a Remery's book weaves into the main plot line, and she's Teneri's Princess Duet because she lives in the Shadowfae world, so you get to know more about the Shadowfae world through her story. And then you've got the FF Urban Fantasy, which explores more about the witch and the vampire covens in Earth, and this is another duet, the Fate and Forbidden Desire, that again weaves in to the main 5-book series. So when I say it's become a universe, it's just exploded, and there's still another two characters books that I need to write as well before
Yeah.
I can write the fifth book and then bring it all
so,
that
so no
together.
pressure then. No
No,
pressure at all.
and they're all got different POV, so it's all multi POV as well. So you don't just have one
Yeah.
character's thoughts and processes going. You get to see what they've done and what they've lived, and other side characters that get their own point of views throughout the way as well. So
Yeah.
they're quite busy books.
So which character do you feel closest to and why?
I don't know. It's a hard question that because I think all of them have got little aspects or have been like I've drawn from bits or things that I've lived through and put into every single character. So it's quite hard
Yeah.
to pick just one because I think they all have a little bit of me in them. It's like being like schizophrenic in a way, but then seeing your schizophrenic
Yeah.
personalities all out on paper. That's my array of characters.
Well, I love your books, so
Oh, thank you. That's
very
nice.
welcome. There's more than me that love your books.
There is. There's quite a few. I'm lucky with my readers.
Is there like a message you intentionally wanted to convey in your books, or?
Not really. I just want them to be a form of escape. So
Mm,
if just one, I always said to myself, if just one reader picked up my books and was able to just forget about their life for 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, however long they were reading for, and enjoyed living in the world that I created, then I'd consider it a
yeah.
win. So
Yeah.
there's lots of different topics that are covered in it. So we cover like dementia in it. There's characters that have what we call broken minds, which is like a dementia
Yeah.
representation. It deals with things like we've got like the FF love story for forbidden love, but it's not because of them being the same gender, it's because of their cultures and their societies and the
Yeah.
covens that they belong to, they don't like mixing.
Yeah.
And there's also like obviously political functions, not like anything we're used to, but like war and stuff between different worlds kind of weaves its way in. So but it's got a bit of got a bit of everything in, but no
What part of
specific message.
no Pacific message? What part of the process do you enjoy the most?
The first drafts.
The first draft.
I like just being able to just write it and get it down and just see where it's gonna go because
Mm,
I can't plot. I've tried plotting and plotting for me it just don't
yeah,
work.
go on.
No, it ends up just being me staring at the computer screen and staring at a blank page going, I know I should be writing this, but I'm not. So now I just let the
Yeah.
characters do what they like. So that's entertaining.
But do you have like like obviously you know where you're starting and where your end is, what you're aiming to end for, yeah?
Kind of. So
Or
I
not
have like
kind of.
I have an idea of where the story should end and how it should end. But like book five's got 5 different endings written at the minute because I don't know which one I'm going to use. So it's got like 5 different endings and like Emery's second book that has 2 different way it could end. So it's like trying to, once the story gets there, then it'll open up and
Yeah.
it'll show me which one it needs to
Mm,
be. And the same with book five, that once it gets through the main big battles, it'll show me which ending will fit. But
yeah.
I can't write past, like, so if a book comes to a natural stopping point, I'll stop writing. I won't write that book, I'll move on to the next one in the series. I won't just keep
Yeah.
writing for the sake of writing it.
Yeah. Do you have any plans to write a different genre in the future, or are you sticking with what you know?
No, so I've got lots of story ideas. I've got far too many of them in my head. It's very crowded, as I like to say. So I've done an Omegaverse, the start of an Omegaverse for the Wonderland anthology.
Yeah.
So we've got Goldie and her 3 bears for that one, which will be Omegaverse. So obviously once the rights come back from that, that'll be getting expanded into a full book. So I'll be dibbling
Yeah.
and seeing what I can do in Omegaverse. In Emery's Torment, we've already have blended fantasy and mafia and MC. So I have an MC club
Yeah.
in Emery's Torment that'll come more into play in the 5th book of the Gatemaker series. So that's going to be fun to write. So I'm already going into other people's genres. I'm just dragging them all into the fantasy series. I'm like, should probably stop.
Why not?
But hey ho, I
Why
like all
not?
these
Hey?
elements, so why not?
Yeah, why not? It's nice, busy, and like
It
different.
fit.
Yeah. So, what kind of like research do you do? Any research for your books, or?
Very random research. So I'll research like random plants. So, like
Yeah.
in A Fame Betrayal, you go through the different courts, and you get into the summer court, and there's like a little town, and like up one of the houses grows what called the like monkey faces.
Yeah.
They're an actual flower. And they just look like cheeky little monkey faces that grow and they're like dead tiny. So I end up researching like random plants like that. So there's also like some plants that are going to come up at some point in it, and they look like little balls of candy floss in swirls, but
Okay.
they're actual plants that you can find in the real world, but then I stick them in the fantasy world. So I do like
That's really cool.
random like wormholes down into different plants and character names. So certain character names are brought from like so I'll find like a theme. So some of the Shadow Fae ones, all their names are actual like different names for different translated names for like shadows or darkness.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
things like
that's
that
really
I like to
cool.
do for them. But
Yeah.
and then if it's in like the ones that are set in England, then I like to see what there is around. So like in the first book and in the Fate's Forbidden Desire, the Vampire's Coven is set in like a small little well, it's not a little place, it's quite a big, I think it's got a national park attached to it, to be fair. Down near London, on the outskirts of London. But it had, when I first found out about it, they had like all these big mansions they looked like they'd been abandoned, but they had all the stuff in.
Yeah.
So like I liked looking into stuff like that. And obviously that's just one road, but like these other roads on there that are like just normal streets, which is what you travel
Yeah.
through. And then where the Scottish Coven is up in Scotland in them books, the places where they're set. So there's like a forest in a meadow, which is an actual national park up near Glasgow in Scotland. So I like to look at things like that. But there's no
Yeah.
like massive like historical research. I'm not that clever.
So what now I've gone blank. What signings do you have this year?
This year I'm at Authors Invade Scotland in Glasgow at the end of this month. Then
Yeah.
obviously there's Wonderland next month. Can't wait for that one. That's going to be so much fun. I can't believe there's a bouncy castle again. It's like Inner Child. So that one will be good. And then I'm at Florida. So I'm at Fangirls Romance Rex in Florida in September, which is going to be
Hmm.
scary and different. But again, so much fun. I've never been to Florida. I've never been abroad. So, well, not that far abroad. I've never been on a plane.
Yeah.
But, and then there's Romance in the North at the end of September.
Yeah.
And then I'm going as a reader to Authors at the Armouries. So I'm not signing at that one, but I'm off as a reader.
Yeah.
Just to see people, because it's nice to go as a reader and see everybody.
Yeah.
And then finish off the year with Book Babes, which we got
Yeah.
Book Babes Take Christmas or Do Christmas or which one it is.
No, it's Take Christmas, yeah.
Take Christmas, yeah.
I'm sure
I'm
it's
like,
Take
it's
Christmas,
something
Book
to do
Babes
with
Take
Christmas.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely Christmas.
But it's not, it's 3 or 4 days after my birthday. So I'm excited for that one.
That's really exciting. Ah. So when you go to like Florida and you do fangirls, are you excited for any particular authors that will be there?
Yes, like almost everyone.
I know.
I'm like, I probably don't get, so there's like LJ Andrews, like I followed her books since she released her first, like, not her first book, it's the first one in the Broken Kingdoms. So I followed all
Yeah.
those as they came out and like was on tenterhooks with every single cliffhanger and was loving them. C.N. Crawford, like obviously, Amelia Hutchins. I've watched them and read their books since I was back in university and finishing college and stuff. So I've been following those guys for a
Yeah.
very long time. So it'll be amazing to actually try and say hello to them and not be
Yeah.
like this and be a little bit of a geek.
Yeah. And they have Jamie Eve as well, I believe,
I
and
know.
Anne Marie. Anna Marie, is it? That does
Isn't
the Demon Code.
oh,
Oh, I
Annette
can't remember what
Marie.
it's called. Yeah,
Annette
Annette
Marie.
Marie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Oh
love
my God.
those books as well.
See, I loved her. The Steel and Sword one or Steel and Stone. Too many. I've read too many books.
Yeah. No,
The one with
I know what you mean.
Ashtaroth and Piper or
Yeah. I know which one you mean. I just
Pipperell.
can't remember. Can't remember what they're called.
But yeah, I like those. Like
Yeah.
Find the Soul and all them books. Like
Yeah.
absolutely love those books. I still got to read all of the Mages and Margarita books.
Oh, they're really good. I love them. Really good. Well,
But so many
thank you
people.
so much. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on and telling us all about yourself and all the exciting things you got planned for the next year.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's going to be so crazy, but you're going to have such a well of a time.
Yeah.
I'm really happy for you.
Thank you. I always stop grinning like since I started
They're just-
on the author signing journey. Like, it's just crackers.
Yeah. What do you like best about the author signings?
Like everything, like the energy, mostly. Like when you get there on the day, and even when like you're setting up and stuff, everyone's just in such a good mood, and everyone's bouncing and bubbly, and it's so hard, like unless you've been to one, to explain like that
Yeah.
atmosphere. But if you could bottle it and sell it, you'd make a killing.
Yeah, you would. Right. Okay. I am going to let you go now. Thank you so much for coming on
Thank you
and
for having
telling
me.
us all. You're very welcome. And I can't wait to see you at Wonderland and get a big squidge.
Oh, definitely.
All right. Then I will see you soon.